YouTube, welcome in. We have reached the end of Season 2. We have one game left to simulate as we are currently 39-49 and out of the postseason race. If you look at the postseason race, it went absolutely awful after we had a shot at getting the 10 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. The Los Angeles Lakers will get the 10 seed, and they finish at least 4 games better than we do. We are currently 32-49. So unfortunately, we are not going to be good enough to make the postseason this year. But that being said, we had a drastic improvement as 11 games better than 500 currently right now, which, like I said, is a huge, huge improvement. Let's go ahead and get this last game simulated and see how the offseason goes for us here in Houston, as I think this is going to be a very, very important offseason. So we're going to simulate through this date. We get the win. So a 12-game improvement. Luka Doncic is going to be your MVP. 30.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 9.3 assists. The Rookie of the Year goes to Victor Wembanyama. 23 points, 10 boards, 2 assists. I was thinking Scoot Henderson had an outside chance at it. He did not. Markelle Fultz for the Charlotte Hornets gets your 6th Man of the Year award. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Jared Allen. 16 points, 12 boards. Very, very solid season there in Cleveland. Shandon Sharp gets the Most Improved Player of the Year, 10 points, 4 boards. And Monty Williams is your Coach of the Year. Executive of the Year goes to Brad Stevens of the Boston Celtics. We will check in at the end of the playoffs to see how everybody did in the playoffs. I'll catch you then. Checking in right before the NBA Finals. Here you're seeing Anthony Edwards is your Western Conference Finals MVP, and Jason Tatum is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So we're going to have a Boston Celtics versus the Minnesota Timberwolves NBA Finals, just like everybody expected. But before we simulate the finals, please, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that notification, comment on the video, like it, all the YouTube things. It helps out the channel so much. And thank you just for checking out this series. I'm loving this series, and this is going to be a great episode here for you. So we'll go ahead and simulate the Celtics. They were the 4 seed, and Minnesota was the 5 seed here in the postseason. And we'll simulate through the first game. First game goes to Boston. Second game goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Third game goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Are they going to win their first ever championship? 3-1 series lead for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Celtics could force a game 6. They force a game 7. So here it is. Your NBA champions are the Boston Celtics. They come back from a 3-1 deficit to catch lightning in a bottle. The Jason Tatum is the Finals MVP. So congratulations to the Boston Celtics on yet another NBA championship. Player retirements. Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, they both finally give it up. Trevor Ariza, 39 years of age, had a great career. Joe Johnson finally says it's over. Al Horford, Lou Williams, Jeff Green, Nicholas Batum, CJ Miles, Derrick Rose, Patty Mills, George Hill, Wayne Ellington, Ersan Ilyasova, Blake Griffin, Ish Smith, Avery Bradley, Ed Davis, Tristan Thompson, Isaiah Thomas, Bojan Bogdanovic, Hassan Whiteside, Etwan Moore, Kent Bazemore, Tony Snell, Solomon Hill, Mario Chalmers. Mario Chalmers, age 38, finally hanging it up in this roster, and that looks like anybody else that we've seen there. So I am curious to see if anybody gets into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, Chris Paul and Dwight Howard will be. Staff retirements. Greg Popovich retires after 33 seasons. Gennaro Pargo as well retires from the Pacers. But Greg Popovich, what a great career he had. What a tremendous career that he had. Hall of Fame inductees. Hall of Fame inductees goes to Chris Paul and Dwight Howard. No shock there. Chris Paul with an excellent career, averaged 17 and 9 in his career. Dwight Howard averaged 15 and 11. But you guys don't forget what he did in the Eastern Conference through the late 2000s. Jersey retirements. Chris Paul gets his jersey retired with the Los Angeles Clippers. Dwight Howard gets his jersey retired with the Orlando Magic. And Blake Griffin gets his jersey retired with the Los Angeles Clippers. So 3 great jerseys and definitely deserving retirements there. So we'll take a look at the league meetings. The 4 worst teams will have an identical odds of obtaining a top 3 pick. 25 of the governors say yes to that. The draft lottery trade deadline occur 1 week sooner. That was rejected. Rising Stars was rejected. And in all games, after 3 quarters, the team to reach the highest scoring team total plus 30 points wins. Ooh, that's the Elon ending. I kind of like that. In all games after 3 quarters, the team to reach the highest scoring team's total plus 30 points wins. We may revisit that in the future. That might be something there. I love that ending. That is excellent stuff right there. Excellent stuff right there. All right, draft lottery. Let's see what the odds are here. The Houston Rockets have the number 9 pick currently right now via Brooklyn. I don't think we have any other picks. The Thunder have our pick via the 7th overall pick possibility. The Thunder have a possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4 lottery pick, 5 lottery picks. I'll check to the results here in just a moment. The draft lottery is going to include it, and this is a dagger. The Oklahoma City Thunder get the number 1 overall pick via Houston. So we are going to be stuck with the 10th overall pick that we got from Brooklyn, but the Thunder have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lottery picks. Absolutely unreal. They have one of the greatest drafts I've ever seen potentially set up here. So that being said, the Rockets will pick 10th. The Thunder get our Rockets pick at the number 1 overall pick. So we will jump in with a little bit more here as we skip past we'll look at staff signing. We need a head coach. So our head coach, here's the deal. I've already thought about this before the video. With our head coach, we are going to offer the job back to Steven Silas on a 1-year deal. We're going to check out his offers here. We're going to give him a 1-year deal and see if he'll take it. We're going to give him, we'll go about $7.5 million. This is his deal. This is his 1 year. If he doesn't make the postseason, we are probably not going to bring him back again. We'll go $7.4 million. We'll make that offer, and he'll make a decision in the coming days. He will sign. So Steven Silas will sign to be the head coach on a 1-year deal with the Houston Rockets. And it's kind of the deal where he needs to be making drastic moves or he will be let go. And we'll check in on later on more in the offseason now. It is draft day. We're going to check here to see who the Oklahoma City Thunder taking their first couple of picks, and then we will sim to our pick. And they are going to take Dmitry Titov from Vanderbilt. This is a generic class, as this is our 3rd season. We are now using a generic class. I guess this is our 2nd off season, but this is a generic class, not a realistic one at all. They take Lionel Adrian from Baylor, 6'8" point guard. That's a tall point guard. The Orlando Magic take a 7-foot center, and we will go ahead and sim to our next user pick. And we're going to see here, we may see if we have some offers come in for us, and we do have 9 trade offers. So we'll look over the trade offers here. What we need right now is a nice wing player. So unless they are an offer a 3, we're probably not going to take it. De'Aaron Fox, he's a nice pick, but we already loaded at the point guard position. RJ Barrett. Okay, that's interesting. RJ Barrett for our 24 first-round pick. 3 years, $83 million deal. Mitchell Robinson, they would throw in as well, even though we don't really need that. Let's see what he did. Mitchell Robinson had an above average year. RJ Barrett performed at nearly an all-star level. So RJ Barrett is very, very interesting. Only 24 years of age, would fit in fantastic with the Houston Rockets from New York. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Terrence Davis II from the Lakers. We're gonna pass on that. Keontae George, we'll pass on that. Josh Richardson, Kyle Kuzma, Terrence Mann, and Kevin Huerter. Oh man, that is gonna be tough to pass up on RJ Barrett, the lefty. I think he's a lefty out of Duke. Only 24 years of age. He had a pretty nice year. Averaged 21-7. I mean, that would make us pretty dang good. But I don't want to add on this Mitchell Robinson as well. So they would take that straight up. I think I'm going to pass on it, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can't get somebody in the draft. I just don't know how realistic that would be. So we're going to go ahead and choose our prospect. We'll see who we've scouted 100% here. So we have a small forward, Ethan Martin Jr., 22 years of age from San Diego State. Or sorry, let's go here. Let's go this way. So Ethan Martin Jr., Bill Bradley, and Zaire Williams, okay, is where he's at, and he is a small forward slash shooting guard. Josh Vincent, the power forward. We're not really looking at him. Let's look at this Will Tate, Adrian Danley, Willie Anderson. So nobody, an all-star possibility. Elvin Hayes, all NBA for a power forward position. Center. I kind of like this Will Tate. Let's see about this Will Tate. Defensive, let's go to .com ranks. Ethan Martin Jr. is the number 6 overall pick. Will Tate's just a little bit younger. He's 6'8" versus 6'6". Gets the rim okay. Really good at finishing once he does. Should have good success at the NBA level as he matures. Tremendous leaping ability will help him crash the boards. Has a tendency of letting guys blow past him too often. And then let's look at Ethan Martin Jr. Good dunker, really solid finisher overall. Good low post score, cartoonishly good vertical leap. Plays well above the rim in traffic. Does it give us our attributes? His 3-point shot's an 88. And Will Tate's 3-point shot is a 79, but he's 6'8". Driving dunks a 68. Let's see what his vertical is. His vertical is a 95. 95 for his vertical, and for his vertical with Ethan Martin Jr., his vertical is a 97. So yeah, we're going to select Ethan Martin Jr. Even though he's 22 years of age, I just kind of like what he brings to the table. He's got a 6'11 wingspan. Man, Will Tate, though, the 7'5 wingspan. And the better. We're going to take Will Tate. We're going to take Will Tate with that. All right, I'll catch you at the end of the draft. We've reached the end of the draft, and the Houston Rockets, I think it's a pretty solid draft class for us. With the 10th overall pick, we get Will Tate, a 75 overall, inside scoring, 3-point scoring, athleticism. And then in the second round, I thought we found a few gems here with Loren Winnington. He's 6'8", 74 overall, mid-range score, athletic, inside scoring. Cliff Green, 6'9", 19 years of age, 71 overall. And Jonathan Waters, a 72 overall with the 60th pick. I thought this was a very solid pick. We're going to sign all 4 of these players. I think the future still continues to be bright here for the Houston Rockets in the offseason. Here's our pending options. Jalen Green, we are going to go ahead and offer him the $12.5 million team option. Unfortunately, OG Anunoby has decided to decline his player option of $19.9 million. So I'm not sure if we'll bring back OG Anunoby or not. We will maybe possibly offer him a contract, as we are going to be in a little bit of a cap situation now. Obviously, we're going to bring back Jabari Smith Jr., Şengün, Josh Christopher, Tari Easton, Garuba. And we decided we're bringing back Azubuike on a $5 million deal. His deal's a little bit more expensive than Bruno Fernando's, but Azubuike did exactly what we wanted him to do, so we're going to bring him back for one more year. We're going to let Garrison Matthews walk, and we will go ahead and bring back Ty Washington Jr. For just a little bit of depth. His contract's pretty affordable, and so we will go ahead and offer all those deals. And now our upcoming free agent class is Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Drew Holiday, Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey's not going to be there. So obviously OG Anunoby's there. Lonzo Ball. So we'll have to look and see what kind of guys we go and check our cap flexibility. Right now, it's not looking great. If you look here with the finances and our salary cap breakdown, we have $7 million in cap space. If we let Anunoby walk, we could get $30 million. And we can see where we got some cap holds. Where can we clear up some cap space? If we look at cap holds here, Anunoby's $27 million. Kenyon Martin Jr., we could possibly get rid of him a little bit. Bruno Fernando, and obviously we'll go ahead and get rid of the Garrison Matthews. We don't want that back. Bruno Fernando, we'll go ahead and get rid of that as well. So that being said, that gives us, let's see what that does to us right now. That clears up $12 million plus his, possible $27 million cap. We're looking at playing possibly one close to max deal player. So we'll look at our free agent options here very soon. Due to our cap situation and the depth that we have at point guard and only playing 11 games with Kevin Porter Jr., we're going to go ahead and move Kevin Porter Jr. in our 2025 second round pick for the first round pick from the Dallas Mavericks in 2028, and Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy is a 2-year professional, has not had a good career whatsoever. It's just kind of a salary dump for us. We're going to go ahead and accept this trade with the Dallas Mavericks. They get a point guard for some more point guard depth there, maybe allow Luka Doncic to play a little more off ball, whatever they want to use him for. But we are going to go ahead and get rid of that cap with Kevin Porter Jr. The Dallas Mavericks accept that. That opens up a lot more flexibility for us. After looking at all the options that we have at small forward, I still think the best play we have here is to bring back 27-year-old OG Anunoby. I thought he did a really nice job for us. We need that wing defender, that wing scorer, and we also have the ability to give him that 5th year. It does look like a lot of money at that 5-year, $36 million, but we're able to go extend above the cap if we need to later on. We still have a lot of cap space that we have next year, but that is when we'll start having to sign like guys like Jalen Green, things like that. So this is our big offseason. I do think we're going to go ahead and offer to OG Anunoby and see what he thinks about that deal. And then also with the small forward situation that we have, Kenyon Martin Jr., we have offered him a qualifying deal, which we will go ahead and gladly take him on a 1-year deal back, or if the team, gives him a reasonable contract, we'll probably accept that as well, which gives us a lot of depth at that small forward position then, and also as we see these players progress. So we'll go ahead and see if OG accepts it. He does agree to the 5 years, $159 million, and so we will go ahead and accept that, and OG Anunoby will be our small forward of the future. Glad to have him. I think that makes us a pretty solid basketball team moving forward. After a few more days of free agency pass, we have decided we are going to go ahead and extend Kenyon Martin Jr. Go ahead and extend him all the way out. He's going to be our solid 6-man, 7th man off the bench, and can fill in for a lot of different roles if we need or injuries. So we are going to offer him a 5-year extension, and we'll see if he accepts that and how quickly he will accept it. As no other offers come in there, we are going to go ahead and get him for the 5 years, $63 million contract. Kenyon Martin Jr. will be staying with the Houston Rockets long-term for the 23-year-old. Here's one of my favorite screens in this entire game, the progression screen. So the Houston Rockets are really taking a step forward this offseason, especially with our overalls. Jalen Green, 22 years of age, jumps up 4 to an 85 overall. Love to see that. Jabari Smith Jr., 21 years of age, jumps up to an 83 overall, up 2. Scoot Henderson, second-year player, jumps up +3 to an 82 overall. He will be the starting point guard and the point guard of the future. OG Anunoby doesn't progress. We did give him that big deal, but he's still an 81 overall and had a very solid career. And I think he's still on a pretty affordable contract with 5 years, $159 million in today's NBA. Şengün does not progress. That's unfortunate. The 22-year-old center does not progress, stays at a 79 overall. Kenyon Martin Jr. gets a little bit better. Just signed that big deal with 5 years, $63 million. He goes up to a 79 overall. Tyrese Proctor goes up to a 78 overall. That's our backup point guard and a very solid bench player there to 78 overall. Tari Eason, he goes up 2 to 77 overall, 23 years of age. Azubuike goes up 1 to a 76. So he's our starting center. He's doing some great things. You see his inside defense gets a little bit better as well. That's some of the things I could have looked up here. Is Jalen Green, his three-point scoring is already really great. Scoot Henderson's three-point scoring is going up. Just tremendous progression that we got here. Garuba goes up to a 76 overall. Tate stays the same. Ty Washington goes to a 74 overall. Even Jaden Hardy gets up a +2. And then there's our rookie. So nobody regressed on this team. This team is completely moving forward, and I love to see that. We are all set for the next season, the start of our 3rd season here. Scoot Henderson is going to be our starting point guard, getting 30 minutes per game. Jalen Green is going to be the starting shooting guard, getting 35 minutes per game. OG Anunoby is going to be the starting small forward, getting 30 minutes per game. Jabari Smith Jr., power forward, going to get 35 minutes per game. And then Azubuike is going to get 20 minutes. That's actually not correct. He is going to get 25 minutes as well. Azubuike's the starting center, so I messed that up. Şengün's going to get 25 minutes as a 6-man. Kevin Martin's going to get 25 minutes off the bench. Tyrese Proctor, 15. Tari Eason and Josh Christopher rounded out with 10 minutes apiece. Garuba, Ty Washington, Will Tate, Lauren Winnington, Jonathan Waters round out the roster. This is a pretty solid squad, and I do think that we're going to be a playoff team this year. Injuries, if we can handle our injuries as well. Power rankings, we have the Houston Rockets currently. They have us at we're still down here. We got a lot to prove. We are still the 25th overall team based on current standings, but I do think that this team is now going to be contending. So we're going to go ahead and change our team intel from rebuilding. We're going to change that to, I think we're a contender. I think we're contending now. I think we're going to try to contend for the playoffs is what this means. And so moving forward, I'm super excited what this team has, and be sure to check us out. We're going to be live over on twitch.tv, playing a lot of gameplay with this roster. And this season I'll play more games because we we finally have a roster I feel comfortable playing with. And I know we didn't make any big splashes in free agency, but getting that OG Anunoby, we went ahead and made that splash maybe a little sooner than we expected by getting him at the trade deadline. But I think OG Anunoby fits us very well and does exactly what we're looking for here in Houston. But that being said, I know this we threw a lot of information at you in this video, but please hit that subscribe button. Comment on the video. Tell me what you think. Am I just blowing this team up? Am I not making enough moves? What do you want to see with this team? I'm trying to make it realistic, and I think with the Houston Rockets, a lot of the realism was just kind of a slow burn. Let them get a little bit better. And there you see Jalen Green, 85 overall. Jabari Smith, 83 overall. Scoot Henderson, we got a good draft class with him and Tyrese Proctor. Our bench, this is a solid basketball team now. I really do think it is. And now we got to pay these guys and hope they perform. So that being said, thank you so much for checking out the video, and I will catch you on the next one.